seeing it happen again and again and again and again and again, I don't think, unless we get reinforcements in January, I don't think we can win the league.
You guys are talking about Odegaard. Trossard was absolute pants.
Is it Saka or Shaka? Shaka.
No,
Because you got shackled by Joe Gomez.
Fully. I expect us to win. I want us to win the league, and I've gone on record, and I've got bets.
People have made so many excuses for ETH. He's been there for some time.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time you're listening to this installment of Podcast Pundits. I'm going to be your host today. I haven't done it for a little while, so bear with me. It's your boy Strives, aka Striver. We're a little bit light at the table today. Christmas period episode. We got Marley Ma. He's gone away. He's in Jamaica, I believe. De La Strada, not sure where he is, and Drayman was meant to be here, but apparently he had last minute babysitting duties. So we've had to draft in my guy to my left. I'll let him introduce himself. He goes by the name of
John Boy, here again for the fourth or fifth time.
How many times this season?
I think 3 times, 2 or 3 times this season.
Nice.
Arsenal fan, just coming off the back of a loss to West Ham.
Yeah.
Not the best day to be here, but here anyway. Repping.
We love that. And obviously, if you guys have been tuning into the podcast for the last 2 seasons, you'll know that I'm also an Arsenal fan. And yeah, man. So it's good to have somebody to pass the buck on to, and I can just do my hosting duties. And we move on to one of the fan favorites. He goes by the name of
Yo, it's your boy, top of the league. Oh, sorry, it's your boy Joe Fanatic. Liverpool supporter, currently top of the league. You know, obviously, as I said to them, you know, just keeping it warm for us while we get back to where we belong. But you know how the game goes, man. It's not us. It's just our turn, man. Yeah.
I hear that. Well, you know what? Up until recently, it's been Arsenal kind of taking up that top spot, and Honourable B-Man did say that we're renting out an Airbnb to the Liverpool fans, and, you know, enjoy your stay and make sure you leave a good review whilst you're up there. But having seen this performance today, we might have to put that villa up for sale. Before we get into the podcast, though, let me just do a little bit of housekeeping, as your usual host will call it. You can find us on literally all digital streaming platforms, whether it be Amazon, whether it be Spotify, whether it be Apple podcasts, whether it be YouTube, whether it be SoundCloud. You just need to type Podcast Pundits, Acast, Google, literally anywhere where you take in your podcasts. You can find us. Tell a friend to tell a friend, Podcast Pundits. And on social media, you can find us. We're on Instagram, podcast.pundits. On Twitter, formerly known as Twitter, it's now called X. We're Podcast Pundits _. And on your TikTok, just type in Podcast Pundits. You'll find us. Get involved with the interactions. We love to see the comments. Sometimes you agree with our takes. A lot of the times you're cooking us.
Cooking Joey Nomadic. You got to ease up, though. Ease up.
But yeah, man, we enjoy them. So yeah, get involved, subscribe, tell a friend to tell a friend. We're growing, and we're enjoying it, man. We ain't missed a week off, man. So we're gonna keep it going. Right, now we've got all the little housekeeping out the way. We love Christmas for the mere reason that there's just a lot of football on, man. A lot of football on. The league starts to take shape around this time. There's a lot of games to witness, a lot of games to take in. And it just makes sense to start off with the most recent game. We've literally just come off the back of watching Arsenal hosting West Ham at the Emirates, where Arsenal have failed to score at home, losing 2-0. It was a game where 2 former employees, Dinos Mavropanos, Declan Rice, are playing up against their former employers, and only one of them stood up to be counted tonight. Arsenal losing the game 2-0, losing out on an opportunity to go top of the league. So now do we end the league? Is there still a potential for Arsenal to end the year top of the league?
We play on New Year's Day.
New Year's Day, okay.
So, and you lot play on New Year's Eve.
Okay. So there's still an opportunity, but as it stands, Liverpool will go into that fixture top of the league. I want to
halfway mark. We're top of the league halfway mark.
Halfway mark, yeah.
That's an important mark. Like more important than Christmas.
Do you think so?
Yeah, bro. Halfway, you said I'm top, and I think looking at it, anyway.
Liverpool and Arsenal have shown that being tough at Christmas don't mean anything.
Yeah, no.
Well, for us two anyway.
I saw a stat the other day, but I was like, right, it's Liverpool and Arsenal literally.
Yeah, literally. And you know, it was funny before I was going to say before today. I still kind of believe it. I thought it was going to be between Liverpool and Arsenal. I didn't think Man City were going to be able to.
They're back.
Yeah, obviously they've come back with a vengeance. But I didn't think Man City was going to be able to keep up the tenacity and the ferociousness that they've done in previous years, just because of who they've let go. I thought the people that they brought in, they would have to bed in. But anyway, before we get on to that, let's focus on this game that we've literally just witnessed. Obviously, John Boy, let me just ask you, what was your thoughts going into the game to begin with? Like, what were you confident of picking something up from the game? Like, how did you envision this game going?
I mean, you're always confident because one is at the Emirates. Two, we've had a few decent run of games where we've controlled the game, created chances, X, Y, and Z. But I said to Jules, like, the way they had dealt with us in the Carabao Cup made me think, this could be a difficult game. And as soon as I started watching the game, I think I started watching it at home, I was like, if we don't put this game to bed in the next 10 minutes, like, if we don't start well and score a goal in the first 10, 15 minutes, I can see us having a long night. And then I think on 12 minutes, they scored. And then from then I knew this ain't going to be like it was at Luton or like it was against any other team that we've gone behind. This is going to be like an Aston Villa kind of game.
Right.
Where we struggle to put the ball in the back of the net. So in confidence-wise, before the game now, I wasn't that confident purely because it's West Ham. They've had a decent run of games. They dealt with us in the Carabao Cup.
With West Ham, you don't know what team you're going to get sometimes though, because obviously it's not that too long ago we saw Liverpool hammer them like 5-1.
Yeah, and bro, I'm looking at the thing over there and it says 2 weeks ago they lost 5-0 to Fulham.
But then
like,
they've just come off an impressive win against Manchester United.
And I hear that. So like you say, you never know what you're going to get, and that's the thing with a lot of the teams in the Prem. It's all obviously every team could beat every team. It all just comes down to who's the most consistent in it. So on your day or on their day, West Ham are not a bad team. So for me to be extremely confident and say, yeah, we should win this, it's never that. I don't go into any game thinking that anyway, but especially against obviously London rivals and a decent team like West Ham, who I think they've won the last 5 out of 7. That's a good record.
That is a good record. The reason why I asked that is because I wondered if it was based on the opposition or whether it was based on our form, because that home defeat against West Ham, that makes it 1 win in 4 in the Premier League. That means that's 8 points dropped. That kind of form is. There has been some tough fixtures. Let's not underpresent what was before us. But do you think that's good enough for a team that's got aspirations that's trying to win the title?
No. I mean, we had West Ham today. Should be West Ham,
right?
At home.
Yeah, at home.
Thinking back to last season as well.
Remember, it was the same sequence. It was Liverpool at Anfield, West Ham at home.
Yeah.
Was
it West Ham at home?
Yeah, it was the same sequence, but the difference is we went 2-0 up in both games, and we bottled the lead. This time, I think we obviously took the lead at Anfield, and then
this time.
Is this our first game against West Ham?
Yeah,
this year.
Yeah.
No, apart from the League Cup. Yes,
No, actually, am I getting it wrong? Was we at home?
I'm sure we was away.
I think we were away because I think at home we went 1-0 down and we beat them 3-1.
Wait,
yeah.
Declan Rice handball.
Yeah.
That was at home.
I'm sure that was away.
I think that was away.
Okay.
I think that was away because I actually remember going 1-0 down, last season, and then I think we came back and beat them 3-1. Nelly, Nketiah and Saka. I think I remember that.
Something like that. Yeah, because I remember Nketiah he got that goal. He spun the guy.
Yeah.
That was the game we won.
Yeah.
That was at home.
So same sequence, but just stayed.
Yeah, but I would expect at home games against West Ham, you get them 3 points. And last season, we got the 3 points. I look at it based on last season, we should have them 3 points. Last season, Liverpool, we got a draw. We did beat. It was Villa before that, right?
Yeah,
we lost. Last season, I think we beat Villa.
Yeah.
We beat them away.
We beat them. So,
and who was the game before that?
The game before Villa.
It doesn't even matter, bro. But all I know is that we've had two draws and a loss in the last 3. It's not good enough, bro. If you're trying to win the league, only saving grace this season is that the teams around us have been dropping points as well in other games.
I was just looking at the league tables from the previous seasons. Man City, they lose and draw a couple games per season. Like even the couple seasons where we lost by 1 point, Liverpool lost by 1 point.
Yeah,
it was they'd lost like 4 or 5 games that season, those seasons as well. But they drawed less games than Liverpool.
Yeah,
so you're still definitely up there.
No, I'm looking at the tables. It's not over. But going back to the thing you mentioned, Dan, is about the form.
Yeah.
I do have a concern about.
It was Brighton. We beat Brighton convincingly.
Yeah.
That was a decent win.
All right, that was a decent win, and I thought that was the turning point for us, to be honest. But I do have a concern about lack of goals. Some boys have mentioned previously. Yeah, we do have a problem. And I was more, I think after the Villa game, I was like, yeah, but, we created lots of chances. And I think the chances that we created against Villa were better than chances we created today. And in that game, I did defend the team and said, look, like, every team has these one-offs where you don't score in it. Like, it happens to the best of teams. I think Man City had a game against Nottingham Forest this season where they created loads of chances, didn't score. But seeing it happen again and again and again and again and again is a bit concerning now, to the point of, I don't think, unless we get reinforcements in January, I don't think we can win the league.
In this game, Arsenal had 77 touches in the opposition box, the most on record since 2008 to 2009 season.
So I read that stat. Is that for Arsenal or any team?
In a single, I think it might be any team.
Any team.
Yeah, I think it's any team. Yeah,
the most touches in the opposition box without scoring.
Yeah,
crazy.
Yeah, man. So,
and do you know who those touches are from? Most of them. Odegaard.
Joey, let me ask you. So obviously you guessed, you completed his sentence, Odegaard. So what did you make of Martin Odegaard's performance today? Like,
No, I think it was a good performance, Premier League standard wise. By his standards, it's not one of the best I've seen. I think he was trying a lot of things, but it just wasn't necessarily coming off. And again, a lot of it wasn't under his control. You pointed out that he created 1 or 2 good chances that you'd expect better players to put in the back of the net.
Yeah, I think Odegaard played well tonight. I think you both are being quite kind of harsh. I think he created chances. He got on the ball. He looked positive. He was trying to drive forward.
No, I think he did all of that, but I just think personally, I think he could have done more. So, like, in terms of doing all of that, I think there were certain balls, certain pictures that were present, but he just kind of chose to hold onto the ball a bit too long, in my opinion. Yeah, but that's also a feature of his game. And
no, but what's he meant to do? Sorry to cut you, but what's he meant to do when your striker's not in the box? You've got the ball and you're looking for somebody to feed. And remember, Kai Havertz isn't playing, who makes that late run into the box. Who's he feeding when Jesus is playing beside him, or even sometimes behind him?
He's in the box though, and there's like another 20 man in the box, bro. Like, there's so many options. You got bare options there, but he does not take none of the options. Like, I remember he would receive the ball on the right, or he'd win it, whatever, on the right outside the box. Bro, you could literally lay it off to Ben White, whoever's he's in front of you, who could cross it. It's like, no, I'm going to turn around.
Yeah, he doesn't. I'm
going to turn around and see the bigger picture.
Yeah, sometimes I think he doesn't rate Ben right when he does that. And maybe it's better that he does not load it off to Ben White and takes a picture. But I do think, like Jonathan said, he does do a lot of twists and turns in the box when, for me, you can kind of move it on, get another yard of space, get the ball back. So just bounce it around, innit? And I think the players in Arsenal have the quality to bounce it around in the box. 77 touches. That's not nothing to laugh at. Do you know what I mean? That's a serious stat. You don't have the quality to move it around in the box and change the picture rather than just hold the ball and wait for a picture to appear, or wait for Gabby Jesus to come in and be in a position that we know that right backs don't really get into.
So from the Arsenal midfield, Odegaard is the first name that you guys call out. It
wasn't a call out. It was just like a jest. It was just jestful because he's the best player out of the midfield, like hands down, in it, 100%.
Yeah, of course.
But we're just talking about if we're gonna be very, very harsh and like, do you know what I mean, on a player who has high standards.
Yeah, there's one thing I'll say, and it's not necessarily Odegaard, it's just Arsenal players in general, is in this game you can see a lot of the intricate stuff is not going to work. Like when we're talking about you're in the box, there's literally, for me, it felt like 16, 17 players in the box, and you're still trying to play little 1-2s, little cute passes.
Yeah, sometimes
in
you
the
have
box.
to just smash it.
Dude,
you have to smash it.
Odegaard, do you know what you can do? You're left-footed, fam. You come off the left and shoot. Saka, you're left-footed, come off the left and shoot. Someone take a shot. Do something different.
So
you ain't got to wait till you're in the box.
So what
take
did
a
you, shot. What did you make?
Like if you look at Serge Drives.
No, go.
Like if you look at Foden yesterday, he's like,
just smash it.
I'm just gonna shoot, bro. Like there's space here. I've got a bit of space. I'm gonna shoot.
I hear what you're saying.
I think that's the bit that where we're talking about lack of goals. The bit that worries me about Arsenal the most is that it's that constant necessity to keep going. It's like how we used to play under Wenger. It's like just keep doing the same thing over and over and over and over and over again. And one time it might come off, and that'll be the catalyst. But sometimes try something different. I think.
Do you think we missed Kai today?
No.
So you don't think? Right? No. Okay. No.
Rightfully so, bro. Rightfully so.
So you don't think we missed Kai Havertz today? So what did you make of Leandro Trossard, who obviously who played in his absence? Because I find it quite interesting that you guys have spent a bit of time speaking about Martin Odegaard, but in my opinion, I think Leandro Trossard had a very underwhelming 45 minutes.
100%.
Paqueta, you could see him warming up. My bro was at the Emirates, and a couple guys I know were at Emirates, and in the group they sent a video of Paqueta warming up, and you could see him pulling up in the warm up. So we're like, yes, maybe this guy's not going to play. He still plays, so you can see he's playing at 50%. And this guy he's still having up Leandro Trossard, bruv, at 50%. Trossard couldn't get near him. In fact, and he just like, he was doing Jogger Benita, bruv. Jogger Benita at 50%. And in my opinion, Trossard, you guys are talking about Odegaard. Trossard was absolute pants, bro.
But that's not what Trossard is in. Like I don't expect Odegaard to, because Odegaard didn't really get too close to him either.
He struggled with the change of role, but he was doing it at pre-season. So he was doing it at pre-season. He was doing it at pre-season. So he's coming now, and we're asking him to do that role. But
what do you expect them to do? Get the ball off of Paqueta?
I don't expect 50% Paqueta to be running rings around him. Why not? Because Leandro Trossard is a quality player, bro.
Yeah, but he's not a player. He's not the guy you put in to say, I want to get like Curtis Jones, or I want to get you to turn over possession in the final thirds. That's not his role, and that's not even Kai Havertz's role, if I'm going to be honest. But sometimes he could probably do it better than Trossard because he's a centre mid and he plays in that kind of pressing role or false nine role. But that's not what we expect from Trossard or Odegaard, if we're going to be honest.
So,
just because you played it in pre-season, bro, players can play any position in pre-season and make it look good. Or you could play any position and make it look good, bro. But when you come up against a very, very, very top quality player in their actual position, and you're a guy just fashioning to be in this position,
50% sometimes bro,
doesn't mean that that's because I did this in pre-season that I'm gonna outshine this guy or match this guy
who's been shining all season, bro.
So did Arteta get it wrong, and should he maybe have played ESR because ESR was fit? He was available.
ESR doesn't start in this Arsenal team, and I say that, and I like ESR to a degree.
So far you don't like.
No, don't do that. Don't do that.
This is what we're doing.
No.
I'm not doing it. You guys are doing it.
Take what you say. Take what you say. He didn't say that.
I didn't say that, bro. I didn't say I like Odegaard. I just think he takes too many touches and should try something different sometimes. Yeah.
If we're gonna be harsh.
Yeah. That's not me.
I don't
that's
see
not me.
why we're being harsh on the performance that we just witnessed.
No, because
from Odegaard.
when we watched the game, that was something that came up when we were talking.
Odegaard should have had at least 2 assists in this game.
Do you know what? I'm not going to do?
Saka even should have had 2 assists in this game.
We're done.
The people who you should be, that I believe that we should be spending time on. We haven't spent any time on.
We're not doing it in order.
We're talking about Odegaard.
This is no. Maybe you should have said in no particular order, because I think that's what you're punishing.
Strives always takes offense to the guys you pick out.
I'm not taking offense.
No particular order.
I'm just wondering why we're spending time on the guys
I think
that
it's just an honourable mention. That's something that when we were watching the game, we both noticed.
Yeah,
but
that was it.
This is no particular order.
Don't get me wrong. I will look at Jesus and I will tell him, Jesus, you could have had 3 goals.
Why does ESR not get into this team when we've seen ESR perform in that position?
When
we've seen
in the 60s.
ESR
it's been a long time since we've seen him. Expect him to come in and do something off the bench. Maybe he can do it, but it wouldn't be the expectation though.
Before he got, he picked up another injury. That's his issue. He's struggling to keep fit.
But that's it.
But you saw him. Coming into some kind of flow, of moment.
The game.
In the games. Like,
he got that shot off as well.
What he done in 15 minutes was more than Leandro Trossard done in the whole game. How long did he get on? I mean, was it
15?
Yeah, bruv, what he showed in that game was more than what Leandro Trossard showed. And before he even got injured, he looked like he was warming in the under 21s. He looked like he was warming. So when you told me ESR don't get into this team, I don't think he gets in,
not because he's not good
enough.
You
mean over Havertz?
I don't think he gets in over Havertz because obviously Havertz is the big money signing. I don't think he gets over Trossard because you got to keep Trossard happy. ESR, if you're Mikel Arteta,
but we just watched the game.
Hold on.
Because I'm asking you to have the game in. Obviously, we just said that Trossard wasn't performing, right? We just said,
but not because I think he wasn't performing because I don't think he should be playing there.
He should not be playing there. That's it.
Exactly. So that's why I now said to
I'm with you.
But he has played it this season, though. He shouldn't be playing there, but he has played it this season. So obviously, when Havertz isn't available, when Havertz isn't available, Trossard deputizes there. Right,
so he shouldn't be playing there, but ESR shouldn't be playing.
That's what's happened there this season. ESR, if you're, and I'm thinking from a squad management perspective now, if you're Mikel Arteta, you've got ESR. Do you put your stocks in this guy, ESR, who's 99% injured, over Trossard to make Trossard unhappy and Havertz unhappy to accommodate ESR, who's always injured?
Where Trossard needs game time.
Exactly.
If you're trying to deputise him in that CM role.
I think that's what it comes down to, is that I don't know if I'm going to have ESR in 2 weeks, bro. So why would I make Leandro Trossard unhappy, and put in ESR, who's unlikely to be here when I need him to be here?
I think as your job, as obviously you're the manager, you're the coach, you know what everybody brings into your role. I believe, like, if something you've implemented a squad and obviously you've made changes and some things are out of your control. Kai Havertz being suspended because picking up his 5th yellow card against Liverpool, out of his control. But then if you can see that a player is struggling in a position, that it does beg the question: should you maybe have played somebody else?
Has he struggled there previously?
I don't want to dwell on this too much because I feel like we need to keep it moving to some extent, because we haven't even touched on the goal. I think when you opened up and you spoke about obviously we conceding quite early. That goal obviously is a goal that comes into some contention, which I think we should spend a little bit of time on.
Yeah.
I think Saka had a chance very early in the game that he probably should have done better with.
It's tough on his right.
When he hit the post.
Yeah.
That came after the goal, though. I think that was after the...
No, it's before the goal.
Before.
Yeah, it's before the goal.
It was like early doors. Like Saka had a chance. That
I must have missed that then.
Yeah, no, when he smashed the post, bro. But I think that's difficult because... No, it was before the goal.
He smashed the post twice.
Because
2 times.
Yeah, because he did it again towards the end of the night.
Oh, we might be talking about different ones then.
Yeah.
Because the one I saw... It was on his right foot, and even though he's good on his right foot, I don't expect him to always put it on the near post.
Yeah, I saw the right foot one. Are you thinking of?
Okay, no, yeah, sorry. So you're thinking of that was towards the end of
the first half.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, end of the first half. But no, he had a chance early doors in the game where he should have done better, but.
Early in the game,
mad early, literally early, just before, and obviously they scored early. Now, obviously, if it's Soucek, is it Soucek?
Soucek,
yeah, he scored. It was another
messy goal.
Yeah, it was another controversial goal, quite similar to what happened when Arsenal conceded that goal against Newcastle, where we went on to lose that game as well, where it was a matter of did the ball go out of play. Before I even go to you, actually, John, let me ask Joey, because I know Joey was quite vocal in regards to he felt like that ball was in play for Newcastle. Do you think the same about this one?
So, I think the Newcastle one was over the line. It wasn't where the ball touched the ground. I don't know if it was touching the line, but in terms of the actual shape of the ball, I think it was over the line. So technically still in play. In this one, it's unequivocal for me. I can't say what it was. So personally, I would be very pissed if it happened to my team.
Yeah.
In terms of the reasoning why they didn't rule it out, I get it. It makes sense, because if you can't see where the ball is, how can you then say whether it's in or out?
John Boy, what do you make in response to that? Can you see what he's saying, or
I feel that I've looked at it, and to me, where the ball's touching Bowen's left foot, the whole of the ball is at his foot, and that left foot is not on the line. So I'm like, the ball can't be on your left foot and also be over the line. So to me, if you're saying, I get their point, it's inconclusive. I can't see the ball actually out of play.
But they're freeze frame.
If you use logic, it's like the ball can't be here and there at the same time.
And their freeze frame, I feel like their freeze frame
was a bit off, innit?
Yeah.
Like the one they selected to review was a bit, that was a bit fun.
Yeah, I thought like, why have you chosen that one? And in my opinion, unless they're literally playing with some sort of beach ball, bro, that ball is completely out of play. I just had to laugh. I just said, boy, it happens. It's happened to Arsenal so many times. It happens.
Well, obviously, it's going to take a long time to do it, but you should be able to map where the ball should be. Based on the picture you see, and then you should like be able to overlay it on top of the picture and say whether it's like touching the line or not after. But in terms of how long that's going to take and all that kind of stuff, I understand why it's inconclusive. But really and truly, I don't know if they voted against it, but Champions League have the technology to know where the ball is and
they
where
need
the players are.
It's been the chips in the football.
Not even that. In Champions League, you know, when they do the offside, sometimes they don't even have to review it because the computer does the kind of like the AI image.
Oh, okay.
You can do that for this game, for Premier League. They have the technology here. They just don't use it.
Right.
So they could actually map where the player is, where the ball is and all that kind of stuff at all times. And say where it is. But I think John Boy mentioned that it might be voted against from all the Premier League teams.
Yeah. What did you make of the defending that, right, the ball should, I think the ball should have gone out of play, but...
Who do you blame for that one? Because for those who haven't seen it, I think Gabriel Malaguez, whatever, he clears the ball and it comes off Zinchenko and goes in to
Zinchenko just seems to be at the heart of everything that's the heart of calamity.
Because if he wasn't there, it's a great clearance.
It's a clearance. That's it.
Gabriel. But there was a period where Gabriel was also involved in calamitous sky as well. It doesn't help that they both play on the left hand side together.
No. We can't do that, man.
No, because why are you kicking it onto Zinchenko for though?
He's not kicking it onto Zinchenko. He's clearing it. He's clearing it. Zinchenko found himself there.
No, because obviously, positionally, they're on the attack. As a fullback, you should be trying to look at the danger. The danger is on the goal line. So he's gone to the post.
Who?
Zinchenko. He's gone to the post on the goal line just in case.
He wasn't at the post.
He was on the post.
He was in the middle of the goal, bruv.
No, I went in the middle of the goal. I'm saying that in terms of his proximity, he's going towards the goal line and he's closest to the post. What's Gabriel's role there? What danger is he looking at there?
But it's clearly poor communication. Like when you're playing football, obviously we're not there, but we've also played the game.
100%.
You're talking to one another. That's calamitous, bro. That's calamitous. I don't know who I put most of the
not everybody
blame
talks, and that was always a problem for me. Like I used to have to do all the talking, and it used to frustrate me because I need to know. I'm trying to take pictures. It helps me take pictures when people are also talking. Because I don't have to look and see where you are. That's why, even though I'm onto Zinchenko because I think he stinks as a fullback, I think Gabriel, you kind of have to question yourself when you clear a ball and it hits your own player. Do you not think there's a bit of responsibility there? Because if I smash the ball into your head in the box and it goes into the back of the net, I can't go to sleep thinking, fuck Striver. I'm thinking, I'm an idiot, bro, for smashing it into the back of our player's head or into my player.
Where he cleared it, though, he cleared it he went behind him, so he cleared it behind him, but he doesn't even know where Zinchenko is.
Exactly, but you should always know where your players are.
But that's why I'm talking about. I feel like it's a case of poor communication.
You should always know where your players are.
Yeah, you should, bro. But I don't think if you're looking at where the players, you're not going to have an opportunity to see, because we're not talking like this is he's got 30 seconds here, bro. This is literally happening within like a split second.
It's
like
fine
2-3
margins
seconds.
at this level.
It is
we
fine
expect
margins.
them to make better decisions. Again, if I'm Liverpool and this is happening to us, I'm cussing everybody, but I am looking at the person who's actually cleared the ball, because Zinchenko, maybe his position is wrong, maybe it's not. I can't remember too tough where he was, but I felt like he wasn't in a crazy position considering where the attack was coming from. Right. I don't think he was. So I'm thinking, I don't know if Gabriel can go to sleep thinking, fuck Zinchenko. I think he'll be thinking, maybe I could have done better there.
What do you make? What do you make of the second goal? Obviously, we've conceded again. I think Arsenal have played on another day. Arsenal probably don't lose that game.
No, 100%.
Yeah, probably don't lose that game. So there's a bit of misfortune, but at the same time, we are not. We're not clinical enough. We are not incisive enough. We haven't got that killer instinct, and it's something that I've said before, and it's something I'll say again. I doubt we are in a position to fully. I expect us to win. I want us to win the league, and I've gone on record, and I've got bets to say that I think we're going to finish above certain teams, which implies we're going to win the league. But I'm struggling to see how we do without a striker, without a target man, and what have you not. And I think that we missed that. But obviously, saying all of that, just going on to the second goal that we conceded, a set piece. Again, Zinchenko. What do you think of Zinchenko's role in
what actually happened? Because I didn't see Zinchenko's role, because a lot of people were blaming him.
Yeah, because he lost his runner. He lost his runner. It was a brilliant header.
I think what actually happened, was
that's Gabriel, bro. That's Gabriel for me, you know.
Now let's focus on the second one.
Go.
What I think's happened with the second goal is Zinchenko's got two guys. From what I can remember, he's got two guys. Yeah. I don't know if he's communicated that. One of the guys, Mavropanos, has left him and gone on to head the ball. Whether or not, it's Zinchenko directly. If you got two guys, bruv, it's like you said, communicate. Bruv, I've got two 6'5" guys here, and I'm 5'11". How do you communicate that?
How do you mark your corners? Because I know Liverpool do zonal.
Well, the thing is, he's literally marking him, and then the guy just gets away from him.
He says, "I'm going,"
and then and Zinchenko just watches him. He literally just watches him, bro.
Yeah. Okay. So he moves him out of the way, and then Zinchenko gets caught in a crowd. But what I will say is that we have to look at it from a footballing perspective. That's like putting Zinchenko and Virgil van Dijk. What do you think is going to happen there, bro?
But you have to communicate that though. Like, if you can't,
but it shouldn't be the thing in the first place, bro. Like, remember when Strav, you played with me at the back, bro. Mm-hmm. When I'm trying to say who you with, I'm putting people on players. If I'm seeing a mismatch and thingy, I'll put Zinchenko on front post. But maybe they're not playing player on the post. But I think even though Zinchenko gets left, I'm not blaming him, because 10 times out of 10, I'm expecting Mavropanos to beat Zinchenko in the air.
But off air, you were prepared to put Zinchenko on the watch list, but all of a sudden you've got all this defense for Zinchenko.
No. He stinks, bro, but not for the reasons that you know. You know what I mean? My thing is, you're gonna go down, you're gonna do your time, but not for the crimes you haven't done, bro.
No, I think he's bro.
So riddle me this. How did you resolve? How did you resolve that then?
Who's the biggest boys on the pitch, bro? Me, I don't like zonal. I like man market, man for man.
Saliba, Gabriel, Magalhaes.
Those two should be on
Declan Rice.
Those two, your best defenders should be on. Sorry, your best headers should be on their best headers. One. Anything else, you just have to. You can't thingy for it. You can't compensate for. Like, that's just the game. If they're a better team in the aerially, then do you know what I mean? That's the game, man. But like, Declan Rice should be on somebody. Saliba should be on somebody. Gabriel should be on somebody.
Riddle me this. Zinchenko got taken off for Reece Nelson. And in my opinion, we look better defensively. How do you come off for an attacker and then you look better defensively?
He's not a defender. Personally.
I think at that time, West Ham, they had done their attacking, bruv. They were 2-0 up.
So, right. So, I'm going to ask you this now. So, obviously, I've got an issue with I think that we need a better striker.
Yes.
It's become obvious that we're missing Timber and we're missing Tomiyasu.
No.
But how could we be missing Timber? We didn't have Timber.
So,
we never had him.
Shout out Don. Don tried to say we're getting in the Liverpool game. You lot didn't have your two first choice left backs, and he said
Last game just gone.
Yeah, Liverpool game. Tomiyasu's was your right back. So for me, he's not your first choice LB.
But he would have played there though.
He would have played there, but he's not your first choice.
But he would definitely have played there.
Was signed for 50 million.
No, Joey. Tomiyasu would have played.
Over Zinchenko.
Over Zinchenko. Guaranteed.
Who's played more games at left back?
And Timber would have played as well.
Let me, but that's what I'm saying. But Timber hasn't played enough games at left back for me to say. Hang on.
Have to like
for me to say that this guy is a left back, because I don't know him as a left back. I know him as a centre back, and I know him as a DM.
You
so for
also
me
don't know Tomiyasu as a left back, but
I know Tomiyasu as a full back.
But
and I've seen it.
Timber's also, he's a fullback that can also play on the right.
He's not a fullback.
He's a fullback, and he can also play. He's a utility player. Like he can play. He can play centre back, centre half, but he can also play fullback.
I'll give you that. I'll give you centre half and DM.
And fullback. You saw him doing it in pre-season. Yeah, you saw him start the Premier League.
I saw Trossard playing CM in pre-season. You're not having him.
What do you mean? But the difference with
do you get what I'm saying? Though, all I'm saying is that
you're saying you haven't got enough. You're saying you haven't got enough anecdotal evidence. I get what you're trying to say.
The work,
but. It's how much you need then. Is that how long's a piece of string? Like, but if a player's good enough, if a player's good enough, a player's good enough.
You use it as an excuse. That's my issue. If you were to say that,
it's not an excuse. It's factual. Like there's
for you to say we don't have our two first team left backs. When you signed him, 50 million to play left back.
He was bought. We're moving on from Zinchenko. Jurriën Timber was bought to strengthen your defense. Yes. He's no longer available. You can't now say that we don't know if he's good.
No. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying it was said to me. It was said to me that you guys don't have your two first choice left backs. One of them is not. Neither of them are left backs.
But do you agree that they would have played over Zinchenko?
I can't say that because statistically, obviously, it's Liverpool. That's why you lot are saying that.
Who does
statistically? Who plays more? Who's played the most left back games for you? Zinchenko.
Who does Don support? Who does Don support?
Arsenal.
So I believe, as an Arsenal fan, he's probably a little bit more qualified.
No, he doesn't speak for Arteta though, bro. He don't speak for Arteta because again, who you paid money?
He's watched his team.
Who you paid money for to buy?
I would say this, yeah. Timber. Let's rule out Timber.
That's all I'm saying.
I would rule out Timber because he's not played left back for Arsenal, so we can't say that he's a first choice left back for Arsenal. But Tomiyasu, we've seen him play left back in games where Arteta knows there's an immediate threat.
That doesn't make you first choice though.
Bruv,
that doesn't make you first choice though.
In the games, in the game against Liverpool, Tomiyasu would have played if he was fit.
I'm not going to disagree. I'm not going
to say he's first choice.
And even in this
I'm going to say to stop a specific threat.
Yeah.
And even
he would have played.
Even in this game against Kudus, he's playing.
Yeah. I don't.
West Ham. Yeah, bro. Tomiyasu's playing in this game, bro.
I don't disagree with you.
It's a very big possibility.
For the record, I don't disagree with you. I'm just saying it's wild to say that Tomiyasu is your first choice LB.
Right, so
he's not your first choice LB because you lot play on the front foot. If you don't want to play a defensive game, I don't think
it's wild to say that because obviously Zinchenko is enjoying a lot more game time than he would do if these men were available. But you know what I mean? I don't think it's wild to say that, especially when you saw the form and the momentum that Tomiyasu was building up. You're starting to see Tomiyasu starting to lead press conferences now. He was definitely the man in favour.
I've never seen that.
I think as well. Yeah, I think as well.
Is he good at speaking English?
Tomiyasu,
yeah,
he's fluent, bro.
Okay.
He's good enough.
He's fluent.
That's a bit different.
Bro, he's fluent. Yeah, anything where you can put a sentence together, that's fluent.
Yeah,
but
I think.
Sorry, go on. I'll let you say this last bit.
I think there's a part as well where last year Zinchenko was overplayed to the point where he got injured for large parts of the season.
And they made him.
And
they made him
1,000%
team of the season. They put him in team of the season.
Great.
I'm saying the clowns in this podcast.
Anyway,
I think he deserves something. I don't know what he deserves, but he deserves something, some accolades.
John Boy, do we move on from Zinchenko now? Has he served his purpose? Can you see why City sold him to us?
There's like 4 juicy questions in one there, bro.
Yeah, because
I think
we got cut to the meat, baby. We got cut to the meat, baby.
What I'm going to say, what I'll say is this. I think this season, defensively, we've not conceded that many chances, but every chance we do concede is a goal.
Zinchenko's around it.
And maybe Zinchenko's around it, but there's chances we can see. Like today, for example, the West Ham had 2 chances. They scored both of them chances.
Right.
Like, not the only 2 chances, but we're conceding a low amount of chances, but we're conceding a lot of goals from them chances, innit? I think what Arteta's going to want is more solidity around, all right, cool. We know we're going to concede chances. If you look at the chances we concede.
I'm not saying we sell him. I'm asking you, do we have we outgrown him now? Hold on. Because you're going around the corners a lot.
I'm not. What I think we're going to want to, Arteta's going to want to see is that if we are going to concede chances, we're not going to concede goals from them chances, in it. I don't think he minds conceding chances, but it's about the mistakes and about how many goals you're conceding from them chances, in it. And I think if we're conceding chances this season and all of them are goals, he's going to want to change that. So therefore, I think there are going to be some players that are going to be not part of the team next season. I think Zinchenko is probably going to be one of them guys.
Okay, and
as a first choice left back.
And you guys think you have it in your squad already to cover that? Is that fair to say for you?
Obviously due to injuries and obviously
forget injuries and stuff. Just in terms of your squad.
If it wasn't for that, then okay. So but because of
in Timber,
in Timber, in Tomiyasu,
I think in Timber that was probably the ideal.
Yeah, exactly. I think, like as you mentioned, it's going to be an area that is going to be addressed in some way, one way or another. Same question in regards to Gabi Jesus. Obviously, he's very important to our build-up play. Yeah. He's very important in the way that he's a very important cog in the way that we play football. But in terms of, we're now title challengers. We're not trying to just qualify for Champions League.
Yeah.
I don't believe he's ever been the main man for Man City. He's also played that same role he's playing for Arsenal at Man City. Do we now have we outgrown that requirement from Jesus? Do we need more?
So I was going to say earlier, there's 2 things that 100% have to change, probably even this season, if we want to challenge, is when we concede chances, we don't concede goals. That has to change. And when we create chances, we have to score. This game we created that 34 shots.
What do you rank?
Goals.
What do you rank for more? What's more pressing
this season?
Yeah.
This season defensively, I don't think it's going to change. So we need to start scoring goals.
Right.
If we convert a 10th of the chances that we create, we win every game 3-0.
So in January, you want to see a striker come in?
A striker that can do what Jesus does and put the ball in the back of the net.
Does that person exist? Because I don't know any other strikers that bang goals from right back. Because that's what you're asking for.
You see me? I just want a guy that's going to score. I don't know what John Boy is talking about. Because I'm not saying get rid of Jesus. Jesus will still play that function. I just want a guy that's going to score.
But you can't know.
How?
Yeah, that's the point. If you take Jesus out of the team,
he's not going to start for me every game. Simple as.
So now how?
Like, we've been found out.
Do you know what?
The way we play football, we've been found out.
It usually takes a year to clock it.
I think if a striker,
so we need another striker. We need a different profile.
Yeah, I think if a striker comes in,
I don't want what John Boy asked.
I think if a striker comes in, to be honest, looking at it properly. If a striker comes in, I think Gabi Jesus could start on the left, and Martinelli gets dropped. I think that's probably what would happen.
That's also because Martinelli's been stinking out the gaff. But look, let's move on because...
Sorry, just a quick one. With Zinchenko, are you lot done with Zinchenko then? Or do you think he's somebody who should come on as a centre mid? Or because I think it's a bit wild that you guys are ready to proceed without a left-footed left back. A top team challenging for the title. I don't think that's ever happened before. Being happy to proceed without a left-footed left back.
No, I mean he's not done, but he just can't be your go-to. Like I just think Zinchenko's. I just think he's
defensively.
Yeah, like
but we've always known it. It's like with Trent, the same issues that.
But this is what I'm trying to say. We're not just trying to finish 4th and 3rd anymore. We're trying to win titles. So we've outgrown the need.
Man City have won titles with Zinchenko playing left back
as a sub.
No, playing left back though. When he took over from Kolarov. Like they've won. You can win with Zinchenko. So I don't know. I think it is a bit, even though I don't think he's a good defender, and I'm only saying this in relation to the criticism that Trent has been getting for the longest. Like, I don't think neither of them are defenders, but they can do a job in left back. I don't know what's going on for him lately, because Trent had that period where everybody was asking questions. Now he's doing a lot better, but
I think Trent gets away with it more because he actually has like a tangible end product.
And yeah, what he gives you going forward as well,
Yeah,
like you can see it. But yeah, so let's move on, because we haven't even, I mean, we spent maybe over half an hour on this, on this game, and we haven't even touched on
Liverpool game.
Yeah, we haven't even touched on Arsenal versus Liverpool, which was a massive game that had loads of talking points as well. You know what I mean? I don't know how we're going to get through the rest of the games. You know what I mean?
we can whiz through them, man.
Yeah. So, yeah, obviously, but the game that preceded this, I personally think it was a point gained for Arsenal, 2 points dropped for Liverpool. That's not to say that I didn't think that it was a fair result, but I just feel like to go to Anfield and get a point, one side is going to be happier than the other. If I give the floor to Joey, open up with Joey and just kind of get his overall assessment. There's many talking points. Just a reminder, you had the alleged handball from Odegaard. We had the chance that Trent probably should have scored when he's hit the crossbar. We've had in my opinion, I think there was a penalty claim for Kai Havertz as well. We've had Konate.
That was a pen.
No chance.
We've had Konate put in a brilliant performance. We had Saliba put in a brilliant performance. Just to obviously just jog your memory a little bit. But yeah, if I give you the floor, how did you?
Yeah, no, I think you've surmised it pretty well. Arsenal have done well to come to Anfield and unlike Man United, go for it. They went for it on many occasions, and I'd say they pretty much were 60% on the defensive, 40% on the attack. And that's what you expect from an away performance against the top team.
Yeah.
And so I think Arsenal gave a good account of themselves. I think Liverpool were a bit wasteful there. And obviously with the mistake, I deem the mistake on the handball from the referee, we probably should have gotten 3 points at home. But again, you're playing against a top rival. So, and I was expecting Arsenal to come at us a bit more, pause. So I'm actually happy with how we weathered it. There's a couple things in our performance that I'm not happy with. Soboslai, he ran all game, but I think just some patterns that we've been seeing all season so far, or sorry, probably in the last like 5 or 6 games where we haven't played particularly well, is that we'll have a decent build up and then the final pass in the final thirds is just not good enough.
Right.
That happens a lot of times where Soboslai was not even making 5-yard passes. Salah wasn't making 5-yard passes, and it ended up costing us. Yeah, other than that, I think we played well. Endo played well. I think he had a big job in his hands to play against Odegaard, who I think is, again, probably one of the best centre mids in the league. As you mentioned it, Saliba was playing against Havertz, Gabriel Martinelli and Gabby Jesus.
You mean Konate?
Sorry, Konate was playing against those three and handled them well, while VVD just put his feet up and watched Konate pick-cotting in the fields. So that was a bit wild still. And Saliba showing his quality, man. I think there's a lot to take from this positive reinforcements to take from this game. I think we showed that even when we're not playing at our best, we are able to use Anfield in a way that's going to galvanize us. The interesting game will be away at the Emirates, because even though you lot got smoked at home today, you have shown that Emirates is a difficult place to go to, and we aren't particularly good against top 6 teams. So yeah, I'm very interested to see how that goes.
Yeah, obviously we play you on the 7th actually in the FA Cup, and then again in the first week of February. So yeah, but we should be done with each other in the next 4 weeks or so.
Yeah. With the FA Cup, I particularly don't really care, to be fair, because in terms of like mental games, I think Arsenal got what they needed from that game, and I think Liverpool got what they needed from that game. We got the thing where we can kind of have a fallback and say, well, if Trent hit that that open goal, then we would have won. And if we got that penalty that we deserved, then we would have won. You don't got the thing of where you've come to Anfield and you've given a good account of yourselves and you've left with a point. Like mentally, you can take a lot from, both teams can take a lot from that game.
Right. So that was an interesting breakdown by Joey. John Boy, if I put a couple of questions to you, because obviously he's left out the chances that I believe that Arsenal had as well. If you remember Saka and Martinelli, if it wasn't, I don't know if you guys remembered, but that pitch was very, very wet. Like,
I heard they went mad with the water.
Yeah, apparently they flooded it like similarly to what they did
we're
with
both playing
Real
on the
Madrid.
same pitch though. What's going on here, bro?
Yeah,
but we weren't used.
Well, you didn't bring your metal studs.
No, I heard that you guys had
That's
longer
childish.
studs. I heard you guys had longer studs.
That's
what I heard.
Why do you bring out your longer studs from the changing room at half time?
No one knows you're going to pour like five litres of water on the pitch.
It's great. And then they're complaining when Odegaard is slipping and having to use his hand for balance and they're trying to get a penalty out of it.
Me using your hand for balance, bro. What's going on here, bro? Is it a fucking gorilla, bro? What's going on here, bro?
And then you got Saka, who normally he would have.
Is it Saka or Shaka? Shaka.
No,
because you got shackled by Joe Gomez, bro.
Right, yeah, so Saka and Martinelli, they had a chance that they should have. Are you
talking about the same chance?
The same chance. But there's a reason why I go on to this. I touch on that chance in particular because obviously Gabriel, brilliant headed goal. By Arsenal, brilliant to open up the scoring, put us on a high. But then, what do you make of Martinelli? Obviously, we've just watched him tonight against West Ham, and obviously we've seen him at Anfield. And as Joey touched on, Konate had this guy shackled. I think he may still be in his pocket, which is why we probably didn't see much of him today. What do you make of him? Like that chance, I believe, the chance that obviously Joey is alluding to from Trent, that they probably should have done better. It was brilliant from Declan Rice to hold them off. He had a much better showing against Liverpool than he did tonight at West Ham. I didn't even touch on the abysmal performance he put in tonight, but that's his first rare allowed one. Yeah, he
gets his former employee, bro. So
yeah, it's a shame because obviously 2 times he's come up against West Ham.
And Anthony Gordon against Everton, bro. That was the other one. Where he stank. Remember I was saying against previous players?
Yeah.
That was the other one.
Yes.
My bad.
Yes. So yeah, obviously with Declan Rice, he did well holding off the Liverpool defence. Giving Saliba enough time to basically pace out Nunes, eliminate him, forcing Salah to pick the pass to Trent. And I think you can attribute some credit to Rice for that role.
100%.
For that role. So as much as it was a good chance that Joey described, going on to Martinelli, do you think he should have done better with that chance that we would call probably our best chance of the game? Was that our best chance of the game?
I would say that based on the highlights, I didn't watch the whole game, but based on the highlights that I've seen, that's the best chance that we had in that game
to go ahead.
Yeah. And when I watched the highlights, I assumed that he hit the target. I was thinking there's no way you don't hit the target from that position, innit? I think minimum he hit the target. So yeah, like he fluffed his lines. Like you can't be in front of the goal.
What do you make of him this season? Because he's on 2 goals.
This season, what I would say this
one
season,
of them's a deflected goal against Man City.
From what I can see, and I've watched a lot of games this season, is that, do you remember, Dan, Strauss, going back to like when we had Ljungberg and Perez, how a lot of the stuff that we did on the pitch was down the left through Cole, Henry, and Perez, and Ljungberg was just out there with Lauren on the right, like to say, okay, cool. If the ball comes, then I'll be ready. I think that's kind of like where Martinelli is. I don't think he's getting a lot of support down the left from Zinchenko. Zinchenko's always inverting. He's not getting anyone overlapping. He's always getting doubled up. He doesn't get the support that Saka gets on the right.
Is that from Zinchenko, or is that because of the introduction of Kai Havertz?
And it's Kai Havertz as well. So last year's Xhaka would be there as well. With the introduction of Kai Havertz, he's got a lot less support than he had last season. But that's not to say that he's not having... That's not to say that he's having a good season. I think he's still having a poor season in terms of finishing, because the chance that you should have, that he's been getting, that I think you should do better with. But I would say this season, I think if there was a player out there, if we had a player in the squad that could replace him, he would have been replaced.
Okay.
I don't think he'd be starting.
Is
I
he?
think,
Is he?
I think, for example, if we had signed, for example, Mudryk, who's a bit more direct than Trossard,
Okay.
I think Mudryk would be starting ahead of Martinelli at this point.
So you can, because Joey, remember when you was like saying that you might need to talk to whoever at Arsenal that wanted to sign Mudryk? It's funny because I've actually seen what John Boy just said. I've seen that banded around a little bit. Like, oh, maybe this is why we were looking at the likes of Mudryk, because we maybe when you're having a Martinelli that's potentially stinking out the gaff, you might need someone that just is going to go direct and
both of them are brainless. If I'm going to be honest with you, so I'm not surprised, bro. I'm not surprised.
Brainless is harsh, man. Brainless is harsh. I think his IQ can do.
For Martinelli, it's harsh. For Mudryk, not so much, in my opinion, man.
But with Martinelli as well, is it a case as well where he just has a purple patch? Because did he do this last season as well? I felt like he had the purple patch where he just kept scoring. Yeah. So like it takes a while to get going, and then maybe from Jan onwards, that's when we started to see him like go crazy.
Yeah.
Something
like that. So I think he scored a lot of goals towards the tail end of the last season.
Yeah. Potentially, like you can't write off Gabriel because obviously he's a player who, obviously it's hard to see. Well, hard for me to see how he is brilliantly as a footballer because of certain things I can't look past. But you can't argue with some of the results and some of the ways you see him dribbling past players. Yeah. So clearly he's got something in it. But I thought that's what the Trossard signing was supposed to do. Like when, for example, the straight running at people and all of that kind of stuff isn't working, then Trossard's supposed to come in and provide a bit more guile.
And he does have that.
Bit more, and which he does. So that's what I thought was the game plan there.
Right.
Because for me, like if you buy Mudryk, then you're probably just bringing on a lesser quality version of Gabriel.
Yeah. I've seen that. Obviously, I've seen that banded around a little bit, and obviously I just found it interesting that John Boy mentioned that. I
say Mudryk only because that's the first player that came to my mind when and we could have signed him. But I'm saying if there was if we had another direct player, because I think that's why he's in the team, because he's very direct. But at the same time, I think he struggles to beat guys one-on-one now because he doesn't have that. There's no
would you sign a winger?
Additional support on that left for him. So basically, if you're tracking Martinelli, that's the only guy that's going to be in that position is Martinelli. Whereas on the right, it could be Ødegaard, it could be White, it could be Saka. On the left, you're just like, all right,
and Rice pops up on the right. I never see Rice pop up on the left, actually. He's always popping up on the right hand side.
Mostly. So if you're there, it's like, okay, I got you, bro. Like Kyle Walker, bro, he'll eat up Martinelli 9 times out of 10.
Yeah. And I think that's probably why Kai Havertz's runs are so intelligent, because he's not getting picked up so much, and then I think that's why we started to see him enjoying a little bit of
He'll be short-lived, bro, man.
We'll see. But obviously that shaped up Arsenal's, I suppose, little run for the top of the table. Obviously, Liverpool had a game against Burnley that ended 2-0 Liverpool. It was it fair to say it was a slow game to begin with? It looked like Liverpool were doing everything but not scoring, and then does the scoreline flatter them a little bit? Like, what do you?
I think it was quite an easy game, and it was the exact game we needed after the Arsenal result as well, just to see that can we actually score, because there's been a couple of questions about our attack, and in them converting goals, especially with Salah heading out on the 30th of January. So yeah, it was.
Hold on,
AFCON.
Saka's going AFCON.
Salah.
Salah's going AFCON.
That I didn't even know that. I forgot about that.
Yeah, he's going AFCON. But oddly enough, whenever there's been this kind of hype and worry about Salah going AFCON, it doesn't really make a dent in our team, to be completely honest.
When was the last AFCON? What players did you have available? You had Mane, right?
We had Mane, yeah. But then at the same time, like, I think, was it last episode, Della was talking about who do we look to? Or I think maybe it was you. Who do we look to when Salah's gone? And then obviously the person who got the second goal was Diogo Jota.
Yeah.
So I think we'll be all right. We'll figure it out. And I think it's also important for us for other players to be able to have that space to play freely and have the opportunity to get their confidence back as well, because Salah is like, we are geared towards playing for Salah. So now that we have to play in another way, like I said recently, Klopp has started subbing Salah as well because of AFCON as well, to give players a style of playing. So I know they've been working on something.
Yeah.
So this will give other players like Curtis Jones, Elliott, like the ability to have the ball work around them. And we're also not going to have Salah forever. So I think this is good for us. I don't think it's going to be a big deal, really and truly.
I disagree. I think without Salah, I think that's a major component gone, and I think that's why the result against West Ham, as much as it feels like a bit of a sucker punch, it feels like a gutting blow. I do look forward to obviously the likes of yourselves not having Salah. I know we're going to miss Partey, but we haven't had him all season anyway.
I don't think you're going to miss him.
Tomiyasu, we're gonna miss him. Obviously, we've had the conversation about Zinchenko and what have you not, but I think Salah is a big miss. Obviously,
so what does it say to you if Salah goes and we're still playing sick or we're playing better?
Yeah, no, then kudos to you. But I still think you've also got a midfield that you're still trying to you're still 100%. Integrating into the Premier League. I think there's still quite a few components, and let's have it right. To be fair, you maybe have a case that you shouldn't have lost any games this season.
Yeah.
Obviously with the Spurs game or what have you not. But then there's also been many games where you've kind of been a bit fortunate as well. In my opinion, I feel like you may have. You haven't performed as well as the result has. No,
I think there's games where we've nicked, like the Fulham game. I think the Fulham game we didn't deserve anything, and then I highlighted that period since the Man City draw where we've stunk since then, innit? So I think again, it's an opportunity to get these midfielders who don't know each other too well to play together and say, all right, we don't have an outlet there. What can you guys do? And so basically it's an opportunity to either fuck up the season or create some proper solidarity in our team. Because again, let's have it right, if we do well without our main talisman, it's going to galvanize the players there and say, like, you know what, we don't actually have to rely on Salah. It's just a cherry on top.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. Before the season, I don't believe that I felt like you were a little bit pessimistic in regards to your title charge. How are you feeling now that after season?
I'm still the same, because like I said, that just because we beat Burnley and we draw to Arsenal, it doesn't delete the last 5 games before that where I think we've been bad. For me, it's an opportunity to show, all right, cool, this is what we've been working on in the training ground and this is why you should be scared. But I haven't seen anything to say that to Man City or Arsenal that you guys shouldn't think the title is a foregone conclusion in your favour, because we haven't been convincing other than the results. And again, we've lost 1 game, but we haven't been convincing enough for me to say, we're going to win the title.
If City win their game in hand, they go level on points with Arsenal, 2 points behind Liverpool. Obviously, it's tight up there. It looks like it's going to be an exciting title race. We've seen City go away to, what was that FIFA World Club Cup thing? They won that. Came back and played Everton. If we just just touch on that, were you impressed with the comeback? Obviously, Haaland's been missing for a while now. Alvarez seems to have stepped up. Foden stepped up.
I remember they got KDB out as well.
KDB's out as well. Is it quite impressive that City are pretty much still within the thick of it with all these players missing?
Nah, I don't think so.
No,
I don't think so, man. I think this is like, even with all the injuries, I still expect them to beat Everton. I think the fact that
Everton has been doing.
I still expect them to beat. I expect Liverpool to beat, and I expect Arsenal to beat Everton. I think the fact that they went 1-0 down is making it a bit more than what it actually is.
Yeah, okay.
But it's a result that they should have gotten, and I think the surprise is how the goals came and who they came from.
That's the surprise.
Not the surprise, but that's the cherry on top for them, really and truly. But they should have won that game.
I think it's a game they should win, but just seeing how they, like you say, score the goals, to me is like, okay, cool. That's something that we've not seen before, but it's something different you can do. Like, it's kind of like what I touched on Arsenal's, like, try something different. Like the Foden goal, he's like, right, I'm just going to take a shot, see what happens. Bangs it right in the bottom.
It was fortunate as well, though.
Why is that fortunate?
Because I think the way where Pickford is, he steps to the right just before the shot.
Okay.
If he doesn't step to the right, then Pickford saves that shot.
What do you think of Pickford? Should he be England's number one? Like, is he? Is
who's the competition?
well, it was Ramsdale. I think. I still think Ramsdale.
And I think it was Pope as well. And
Yeah,
I don't think Pope is up there. Like,
but the thing with Pope and
think-
Ramsdale, is that they're actually playing at a level that's like, raw, bruv. You're playing Champions League football now. Or in Pope's case, you're playing Champions League football.
I haven't seen enough for them to dislodge.
Yeah, but has Pickford done enough to consist?
He doesn't have to. He needs to be dislodged. So that's the way I see it. He needs to be dislodged. I haven't seen enough for Ramsdale.
I think Ramsdale did enough last season to have dislodged him.
Yeah, but then it's just unfortunate the way it's happened. So if Ramsdale if Raya didn't come and Arteta wasn't on this stripping desk, then I think Ramsdale would have a huge shout to be starting in the Euros. But I think Ramsdale will have a shout to be starting in the Euros, and I think it's just not happened that way, man. So.
I know he's probably so pissed. Bro.
But as I said, I don't think he's done enough to say, you know what, Pickford shouldn't be here.
There was an injury in that game as well, so it looks like was it Stones?
John Stones. That was a crazy injury because it was offside, and then the referee could have flagged it. But you know this new
that rule, so it's almost an unnecessary injury to have.
100%.
So because I'm just thinking like,
sure, he only just came back as well.
Just literally just came back. So what do we like? Obviously, KDB looks like he's soon returning. Haaland soon returning. Stones was integral player last season. They've lost him again. Obviously, you know how I feel about the fact that Gundo is no longer there. Mahrez is no longer there. I think these were key components in their squad.
100%.
Have City got enough to still go on that crazy run that they tend to do, like in the new year? Have they got enough, or is anybody kind of in my camp where I think that I can't see City, like, I think City will be in and amongst it. They're not going to fall off, but I still think it's going to be out of Arsenal and Liverpool.
Yeah.
Is anybody where I'm at, or are you expecting the same City?
I'm kind of where you are. And I say that because they've shown that they've been inconsistent this whole season in terms of the Premier League anyway. They've been mad inconsistent, still better than players. And there's, I mean, KDB and Haaland being out, they have got through a lot of the results. But even when they're back, they're obviously going to go through periods of adjustment back into the league. I still think they're going to drop points. But I think this season it's going to be a season of like not like last season, not last season, but season before where City have run away with it, or they've gone like 20 game unbeaten runs. I don't think we're going to get that. Because I think every team's shown they're vulnerable and inconsistent enough to the point where all the teams are going to drop points. I don't think they're going to go on a run, but that's not to say that they're not going to be up there challenging. I still think probably City are the favourites.
I was saying, obviously, congratulations for winning the thing or whatever you say to City. I don't really see them as rivals because I don't know anyone who's fought City. Congratulations for winning a World Cup, But if you look at last season's table, they lost 5 games and drew 5 games.
Okay.
They're still
season.
They're still well on course to doing that or even better in that.
Of course.
And then the season before, I think they lost 6 games and they won the league by 1 point against Liverpool. So I still think City have, as you said, they're going to bring back De Bruyne. They're going to bring back Haaland, who's a mountain of goals. I even don't think De Bruyne coming back is ever going to be a big deal because they've been training all season without him. So if anything, it's going to make it harder for Pep to readjust and find a way to put him back in the team. But they always manage to kick into gear. Where I'm with you is I don't think he's figured out how to play Kovacic and Nunes. Matthias Nunes, and those are the big kind of replacement signings that he got this season. So the other guys are going to be overworked for me. And obviously, you look like your Black Sonics and Doku's here to do his thing in it. So let's see what happens in it, man. But I still think they're up there with a shout because Haaland's goals is the big difference between him and the other two potential contenders.
And that's the bit that Liverpool and Arsenal are not struggling with, but they find the most difficult is put the ball in the back of the net.
Mm.
And Haaland does that for fun.
Yeah, well, I think Arsenal more so than Liverpool.
We've scored goals this season.
Yeah.
And our defense, to be fair, we've been good this season.
We've scored goals too.
No, but remember, we've got a good defense. No, you lot haven't scored goals this season, man.
Yeah, we haven't.
Bro, how many goals did you guys score?
I think we got like about 30 odd.
Yeah, no, Arsenal haven't scored goals, man. At this point, our top goal scorers is Bukayo Saka and Nketiah, 5 goals each.
No, I'm talking in terms of the league, bro. How many goals have you scored in the league?
Oh, you're talking all together?
Yeah.
We got 39 and 6 conceded 16. Arsenal got 36 and 18.
We've scored goals.
But Villa have got 40, 25. Man City's got 43 and 21.
Villa got 40.
Yeah, man.
Tottenham's got 39. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, so it's not been a crazy season for us. You're right.
It's nothing to shout home about. All right, let's go across the other side of Manchester. Let's touch on it briefly. Obviously, West Ham, they didn't just beat Arsenal 2-0. They also beat United 2-0. Looked like that might have spelt the end of the Ten Hag.
He's like a cockroach.
Era. Yeah, exactly. every time you think he's gone, he's back. He's back. That was an impressive display from West Ham. I think Kudus. How do I pronounce that? Kudus. Yeah, I think he was pretty impressive in that game from what I remember. Do you guys have any? I think obviously our Manchester United correspondents aren't here, so we're probably ain't going to do them
cowards
as much justice. But do you guys remember anything in particular from that game that? To touch on before we go on to United's impressive win over Villa?
Yeah, I think United weren't bad in terms of the performances we've seen from them. This is not one of their worst performances, man. But I can't remember who West Ham played before that game, but West Ham were clinical, man.
Yeah,
they were clinical. It was a good finish by Bowen.
I think it was either you or Fulham. Like, I can't remember. Like, what was?
It might have been Fulham. No, it wasn't Fulham because they lost. They got smashed by Fulham.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
It would have been you then.
No, it wasn't us before that.
Yeah, it was, bruv.
No, we played them after in the League Cup.
Oh, Wolves.
Yes. Their finishing was clinical, and it was clinical in this game as well, man.
Yeah.
And it's another thing because obviously we're going to talk about the United Aston Villa game, but it's that Garnacho guy he was very bad in that game. And then he's come to the Villa game against West Ham, and he's come to the Villa game and he's been great. Like probably one of the best players in the world, did it? So it's just West Ham were clinical. You have to respect David Moyes. He's come back against Man United and just shown them Wagwan in it, man. So
I love it.
Yeah, you have to love it, man. But I can't see what Man United are trying to do here. And then even when we talk about like all of the games they played, it's hard to see what's happening, what the project is here. Like people have made so many excuses for ETH.
Yeah,
I've been not necessarily wanting to see him out because their downfall is my glory, but I've wondered why he's been there for some time, and I'm still wondering. And I don't know if I'm ever even just say when they qualify for Champions League. I still was wondering, like, what's going on? Are we just going to be playing football and hoping for the best? Because this is just it's a more successful version than Ollie's football, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think I just personally think that with the amount of injuries that United have suffered, and obviously having seen United finish third, qualify for Champions League in his first season, get a domestic trophy, I do believe that he has got the grace to at least see out the end of the season. That's me personally.
100%. I agree with that.
Yeah.
But when he had the full team, or when they came thingy, like, what is it when they came fourth? Did they come fourth on a technicality, or did they come fourth because they were a good team? Because remember how bad everybody else was last season.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm trying to like figure out. What do we take away from the actual football? Forget the results. What do we actually take away from the football last season? And then what do we take from the football this season and say, well, when these guys come back, this is what we're going to see. Are we just going to see better players doing the same thing that these guys are doing as well, but because they're better players, it will look better? Or are we going to see this is what we're trying to do at Man United? And I don't think it's going to be the latter.
I'm with you on that. Like, I just don't see, and I ask the question a lot.
Once upon a time, you might.
I don't see what anyone that supports Ten Hag now. Yeah, I'm not seeing what you're supporting or why you want to continue to see him in the role. I don't get it. I get you want to give him time. And I see a lot of fans compare his time to Arteta's time, where he's got to deal with the unrest, the players that he doesn't want, But at least with Arteta, you can say, okay, cool, this is your style of football.
Mm-hmm.
You just ain't got the players to do it.
100%.
Fine. What I see with VTH is that, what I see online is, he doesn't have his players, but the players that he's brought in don't even start. They don't even start. So he starts with the players that he used to have, playing the football that they used to play. Fine, to get results. But what are you doing now to say, okay, cool, this is what I want to do? Nothing.
Sometimes you might bring in a player and you might have got it wrong. Like Arteta got it wrong with Willian.
No, but they're his players though,
bro.
man. Like they're all ex-Ajax boys that played. A lot of them have played for him before. He knows what he's getting.
Yeah.
Fair enough, it's a different league, and it might not work out. But at the same time, let me see. Are you maybe trying to play inverted? Are you trying to exploit something? What are you doing, bro? Like, like you brought Onana in to come and play ball. His distribution from the back is rubbish, bro.
Well, I hear you. Well, that was obviously them failing to score. That was them failing to score, and that was the fourth game across all competition where they failed to score, and then they had a very tough task going to Villa. Well, we saw what Villa done to City. We've seen what Villa did to Arsenal. So we thought it was a foregone conclusion.
Well, at 2-0, you thought it was a foregone conclusion.
Yeah, I did.
I didn't see any way back.
Yeah.
But then, United have they found a way to not just get back into the game, but actually to win the game.
Yeah,
very.
But you know what? I saw a tweet on Twitter and I was like, "This is it." But I can't remember what it said. But it was about Emery. Yeah, and about his tendencies to say, I've got the result, I'm going to shut up shop, and that's it. And that's the thing I think that he did at Arsenal a lot of times, where it's like, bruv, the game's not done, then you would end up losing. And I think he's done that at Villa to say, game's done. I'm shutting up shop. I'm going pragmatic. I'm not going to attack no more. Sit back, and he got exposed at Man United. That's it.
You know, for me, I saw that high line and I was just thinking, how comes it's started to dig out Martinelli again, pause. But I was like, how come I'm seeing Garnacho and Rashford exploit this high line? And
no, because people don't rate them. Like, and I'm going to be honest, like until people start to rate you, that's when they.
So you think it was complacency?
100%. No, I think like some people might be thinking,
but they played that high line against Arsenal. We just didn't beat it for enough times. Funny enough, actually, John Boy did start say at the top of the episode that we had loads of chances against Villa, but I didn't see us beat it the same way obviously we didn't because we lost the game. The same way United did, where United beat it a couple of times and obviously punished Villa.
United aren't as clinical as Arsenal, so you can get away with doing that a few times against let's have it right, lower teams.
Yeah,
you can get away with it.
They didn't get away with it that time.
Exactly, and so because you'll see Aston Villa beat Man City, then they'll go and play against Brentford and they'll get slapped up. That's the game, man. So I think it's more about Man United than it is about Arsenal if we take away the results from those games.
And I think as well as that, Arsenal not going to deviate from the way they play.
No.
If they see high line, doesn't mean to say, put the ball over to exploit the spaces. Continue doing what you're doing. So the high line might be there, but the way we're going to play is not going to change based on you having that high line. It's not say, exploit that space. It's continue to do what you're doing. Play through them. Slow build up. And that's what we are seeing this year different to last year, is that last year we were doing a few more of them balls over the top. This year we want to control more of the ball, so we have it all the time. So a ball over the top is useless because it's a wasted opportunity. I think they see it.
All right, just to touch on some of the other guys. You had Spurs. Richarlison seems to have hit a run of form. Whatever you know, they got a good result against Everton, beating them 2-1. I believe, beating Everton 2-1. Richarlison and Son on the score sheet. Everton had a disallowed goal, and then eventually got a goal towards the dire moments of the game from Gomez. obviously Toffees were misfiring. Spurs punished them. Spurs then went on to play Brighton. We saw that that was the precursor. Is that the right word? That's the game that came before Arsenal's game.
Yeah.
And Brighton
Popped them.
Yeah, popped them. Blew Spurs out. 4-0 out.
Pass to control the things.
Good goals as well.
Yeah.
Smashing goals.
Yeah, man. And it seems to be the story of Spurs season at the little patch of form at the moment.
I think there's a lot of team season involved. Just like get a result, get a few results, score bad goals, and then lose.
And Spurs are really unlucky at the moment where they keep on losing players, whether it be to suspension or to injury. I didn't catch all of the game because obviously I was focusing on Arsenal, but I believe there was it Kulu? I feel like he might. Yeah, like
it was a stupid penalty to give away.
Yeah, so is he now suspended?
Oh, yes, he is.
Yeah,
he's suspended. And a lot of the suspensions have been very stupid.
Yeah.
Like the Udogie challenge. What's their centre back called again? He gets the most cards for
is Romero gone again as well?
He wasn't here today. Yeah, I don't think he's injured.
Ain't he? See, that's what I'm saying. So it seems like there seems to be a lot of ill discipline. I think Spurs are top of the list of ill discipline.
I think, but it's the way the manager wants them to play in terms of aggressiveness as well. Like not necessarily smashing, but he definitely wants there to always be constant pressing on the players.
Well, Spurs aren't doing too badly. If we're giving Villa so much kudos for playing so well, etc., and being in a quote unquote title race, Spurs are only 3 points behind them, even though they're sitting in 5th place at the moment.
It's crazy, isn't it? Like you're saying everyone's had a shit season, then you look at the table and it's like, right, bro, you're there.
Yeah, exactly. It's a lot closer than you might think if you don't go and do the.
Usually, by this time of year, you expect a gap to open up, especially between like 1st and 5th or 1st and 6th. But it's literally like 3-4 points, if that.
Yeah,
you're tight on
maybe even 5 points.
Yeah, and then man, just some quick mentions to the Chelsea. Chelsea beat Wolves 2-1. No, sorry, Chelsea lost to Wolves 2-1. Was that the one where Sterling had that? Sterling should have squared the ball. Yeah. Absolute abomination.
It happens though. Look at what Elanga did it, bro. He's just lucky that they won
against Newcastle.
Yeah, but come on, man. Some of Sterling's quality, some of his experience.
When you leave Man City, bro, that discipline goes down the toilet, bro.
Yeah, man, that's unforgivable. But
at City, bro, I don't think he starts again.
No. Not the current way he's playing now.
Yeah. No, as in if he hadn't done that, if they're losing.
Oh, yeah.
It doesn't pass. I don't think.
Yeah.
I think
And the team doesn't win.
Yeah.
He goes on the market. He goes on the market. But then Chelsea then redeemed themselves with a 2-1 win over Palace.
Barely as well, bro.
Yeah,
Palace were good on the day, man. They got lucky. Chelsea got lucky.
Yeah.
It was definitely a penalty, but it was just a poor concentration from Palace to give them the opportunity. But other than that, they were never getting in the back of that net.
Yeah, I think we need to next time that we're holding a board meeting at Podcast Pundits, man, we need to vote off talking about Chelsea, man. I'm not inspired to talk about this traditional top 6 or not, man.
Yeah, there's no up end. Oh, what's the word I'm looking for? There's no upside.
Yeah, man.
Talking to Chelsea, no downside. It's just a neutral team, bro. Man.
Yeah, no one cares. Poch should have been sacked if it was anyone else's team, but then at the same time, you shouldn't be sacked because maybe he's a new manager. He's asking for another. He's asking for another billion. Yeah, man, I'm tired of them.
You think he needs players?
He thinks he needs players. I don't.
He thinks he needs players.
He thinks he needs players.
No,
he's asking for more in Jan.
I hear it because you have to bear in mind they're just signing anybody. They're signing anybody. They're not asking you what do you want or like blah. They're not even looking at how's it going on the training ground. They're just saying, this guy's black. He's available.
But you know
Let's buy him.
But you know what?
Wait, hang on. Does he have dreadlocks or cane roll? No, he doesn't have cane roll. We don't want him.
Do you know what?
He's saying that's the spider. That's the flow chart.
I think if you're Poch, then you need to come to the job understanding what you're getting yourself into.
Exactly.
Like you're not gonna get another billion. These are the players, bro. These are they're not going.
You just
so
come
all that's
into
going to happen is they're going to find a manager that says, I'm happy to work with what I've got.
and it's going to find
and do you know who that guy
harder
is?
And harder though.
Do you know who that guy is? That guy is Unai Emery, bro.
What?
He would do a job at Chelsea with them players.
Yeah.
100%.
But I think Unai is excelling at Aston Villa because he is actually having a say and he's getting to choose his stuff. I think when
who's he signed?
Villa.
Yeah. Pau Torres.
He's brought in Pau Torres. Who's coming this week? He's brought in...
No, Diego Carlos was there before. He got injured for the whole season.
Everyone I see starting for Villa.
Yeah, Leon Bailey was there before.
There,
I think Moreno was even there before, the left back.
Is it just Pau Torres?
Pau Torres is the only guy I remember.
Martinez, been there. McGinn, been there. Bailey, been
Consar, been there.
Yeah, maybe.
Watkins, been
so
there.
You might be right still.
But he just goes and works
he works with guys that he's got.
But what I will say is that Aston Villa were a decent team. Obviously, they had the stinky period with Gerrard.
Tillemans, ain't that he's signing?
Yeah, but he hasn't really played that many games for. Like, I think he only just started playing, and he was even complaining that he's not getting any game time. Tillemans was technically it's his signing, but he's just a good player available on a free transfer.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Cool. Honourable mentions for the Newcastle fixtures over the Christmas period. They lost both games.
Hold tight, Luton. Hold tight, Forest.
Yeah, man. And hold tight there, Estrada.
Is he still backing them? Yeah.
Well, he's tried to brand himself again as the man of many club faces. He's sneaking himself back into the.
Trying to hear it.
Yeah, I wonder what face he would have worn this time. Now that Arsenal lost, Newcastle lost both times. Probably the Moyes City face, innit?
Yeah, but definitely shout out Chris Woods. Like Joey said, that hat trick was sublime.
You know what? Speaking of shout outs and what have you not, let's go on to our back pages. Back pages, as you know, if you're listening for the first time, as you know, John Boy, but if you're listening for the first time, back pages is where we shine a light on those that have earned themselves a shout out, and done something that's honourable that's worthy of a shout out, that's worthy of shining some light on the good that they've done in the game, or a spectacular achievement, a spectacular feat of somewhat. Like imagine picking up your newspaper, like the segment's called Back Pages. You turn to the back, and somebody who you're kind of basically highlighting. So I don't know if you guys have given it any thought. Is there anybody that you want to kind of shout out over the
two that come to mind? Yeah, guy that I just mentioned, Chris Woods, went back to his old club, Newcastle, scored a hat trick, great hat trick as well. Took his team or led his team to victory, Nottingham Forest. And then the other guy, he's breaking his back for Manchester United.
Those are my two as well, bro. I pick one, so I can pick the other, bro.
I'll go Chris Woods. Talk about Garnacho.
Yeah, I'll go Garnacho, bro, because I hate this guy, bro. When I talk about lacking football brains, bro, I see Martinelli, I see Garnacho, I see who's over Mudryk, and these are the new guys I see. But this guy, bro, no matter how much I try to hate on this guy, bro, he just keeps on doing wonderful things for his shit team, man. So hold tight, Garnacho, man. Like right foot, left foot, man. Good goals, man.
Yeah, mine. I'm going to give it to Solanke. I think he's having a spectacular season, man.
Good shout as well.
Yeah, he's having a great season.
He's got 9. Is it 9 or 11 goals? He's
12.
12.
12 and an assist.
So he's just behind Salah.
Yeah, he's trying to.
I think Salah's got 14.
Salah's the Prem's.
No, Haaland's got 16 or 17 or something like that.
Yeah, man. So
17 goals, bro.
Yeah, bro, man. So yeah, man. That's
Sorry, quick one on Solanke. Do you think?
Nah.
Yeah. Okay. Just
wait. What was that?
No. He knows exactly what it was.
What was it?
Well, I think he was going to ask about because we were linked to Solanke. Is that where you?
No, I was going to say, do you think he stays at this level, or do you think he needs to go?
Right.
But you kind of answered my question because you don't think he's good enough for Arsenal. Yeah.
Yeah, because I think this is just like I think every striker on this kind of level has this one season where they break out and they surpass the 10 mark. It's kind of like, well, I don't know if we got it on air when I was basically saying I never thought it was sustainable for all of our Arsenal's attackers last season to do what they done and repeat it kind of thing. So I think this is Dominic Solanke's season where he's doing that now. So obviously we were linked to him. To be honest, Eddie Nketiah goes to Bournemouth and does the same thing for me. So I don't see why we do it. Question: just before I want to end it on a controversial one potentially. 2 Arsenal fans here. Obviously, we got a Liverpool fan here. Mikel Arteta. If he wins this season, if he doesn't win this season, is it time for him to go? And do we look for somebody else? Or do we persist?
Who do you want to go first?
I'll ask you, you're the Arsenal fan.
For me, I'd say had to do a lot of groundwork to get the squad to the point where it's at now. And it's only now that we're truly challenging, I believe. So I think this season, no matter what, he gets at least next season.
At least next season.
Yeah.
I know you're not an Arsenal fan, Joey, but
it's the Arteta experiment. I think you said he gave himself a certain amount of time before he gets the trophy, right? Has he surpassed that time yet?
He gave himself 3 seasons. You said 3 years. Within 3 years, he was gonna be competing for the title and back in Champions League. I don't know. Does that mean win it as well? I suppose he's done that.
Yeah, he's done that. And I think now, really and truly, it's at this point where the third... so I count this as his second season for me. I don't know why. I don't know how... But I count this as his second season.
Because this is his second season competing.
Yeah, exactly. So I think he gets one more season to compete. And if you don't do anything, then you have to go because... like maybe you're just a guy who lays the groundwork for the next guy. And I think that's what Eddie Howe is as well. So I think, why can't he be him as well? Yeah,
for me, if he doesn't win this season, I believe he's the man that lays the groundwork. And the reason for that is I gave him the season off when we finished 8th. I'm not including the first season where he took over for the half a season. When we finished 8th.
Hold on, did he finish 5th in that first season?
No, we finished 8th. Yeah, we finished 8th in that first season. I gave him that one off. When we finished 5th, obviously we started off poorly. The first 3 games was poor, but I felt that we should have finished in the top 4 comfortably.
Agreed.
We finished 5th, so that showed me that, okay, when you've got an objective, you haven't been able to cross that line. Let's see what you do next season. That was the season last where we were top of the league for 93% of the season. And in my opinion, when you're 8 points clear, 2-0 up against Liverpool, 2-0 up against West Ham, concede both, and then
you lose to bottom of the league, Southampton,
and then you draw with bottom of the league, Southampton at home, and then you end up getting pipped to the title by City because you get spanked by them 4-1. I then wonder, okay, cool, this is the second time where you've seen the goal, the light right in front of you, and somehow you've not been able to hit that target. So I wonder, are you the guy that's going to win with us, or were you the guy that was meant to lay the groundwork? This was the season where he was going to answer that question. If you win this season, I'm happy.
What does he need to win for you?
You know what? An FA Cup I will be cool with. FA Cup, I'll give him that extra season that you guys have spoken about. But if he wins absolutely nothing,
what if he got to the final of the Champions League?
If he got to the final of the Champions League, again, you've shown you're not a winner. You've shown that you can do everything, but you just can't win.
But there's been progression.
There has been progression, of course. If he got to the Champions League or whatnot, and
gave a good account.
I'm giving him the next season, but I've got my shortlist now.
Okay.
I've got my shortlist of managers. And it's not just me, the players I've said that. If you look at the negotiations, players are refusing release or try to negotiate release clauses and stuff like that. Our players are letting Saka and whatnot. We've got 2 years before our Salibas, our Sakas, our Odegaards. Yeah, exactly. Before they're going, we've got 2 years. So irrespective of what I think, I think objectively, it's not even a subjective matter anymore. I think we've got 2 years. We have to start.
Otherwise, we lose the players,
or we even lose the players. For me personally, this season. For a lot of other people, they're probably going to give him another.
If
season.
Saka went Liverpool, would you not like boo him? Like, ooh.
I'd be distraught. I don't know how.
I know, but would you understand as a human?
No.
I didn't understand when Percy went to United, so
I wouldn't understand if Saka went to Liverpool. If you didn't win anything this season or next season, and he left at the end of next season.
If we won the Premier League and he went to Liverpool next season,
if you won the Premier League this
I want to
season,
win the title.
I want Liverpool next season.
Yeah, I want to win Champions League and I want to win Premier League. So I want to go to a manager that can get it over the line. Would you like? But obviously,
I'm not going to be Saka. I would understand it if Saka's at the end of his contract. He's got a year left, 2 years left, whatever it is.
Yeah. And you lot can't come to a good enough.
Can't come to a negotiation. He says Liverpool's team I'm going to. Cool, bruv. But if Saka forced his way out of Arsenal to go to Liverpool,
you said if he down still,
yeah.
If he Caicedo's,
I'd have to boo him, bro.
Yeah. For real, man.
It will still be Starboy. But
fuck that. He would never be. He can't be Starboy no more if he did that.
Because obviously he's giving you lot stuff.
Hang on. What would he have given us?
If you had better players around him in the time where
No.
Okay, with Van Persie, he didn't really give you anything, and then he had the season where he was banging goals, clapping goals, and he gave you some wonderful goals.
Yeah.
But he left.
He left us with that only.
Yeah.
What does that mean in a grand scheme of things?
He left with 1 year left. He left with 1 year left in his deal. Oh, I can't knock him for that, bro. I'll be honest.
Yeah.
Bro, he's never come back to the Emirates since. Bro.
I know.
But I think it's because you lot.
I don't want him back.
Exactly.
I could understand
it's
why.
It's not like there's an ambassador job waiting for him, bro.
Brother, you what? So what? You've never won a trophy in your life, yeah?
Yeah.
Arsene Wenger's telling you, yeah, man, I'm bringing in players, and you're looking around, you're thinking these guys are trash, and then Man United say to you, Man United, you want to win the league.
Who was the players that Arsene Wenger was going to bring in?
I didn't remember. But he brought in Giroud.
I can't remember.
I can't remember. There was a meeting where Percy said, "Yeah, I'm leaving." Yeah,
I'm going.
No, he's still a dickhead, man. Because we put up with.
I don't blame him.
We put up with all. Imagine putting up with all of the injuries of ESR,
and that's the bit.
Yeah, then we get ESR to just like he has another revival arc where he just moves crazy, and then he goes off somewhere else, and then just wins.
Goes Man City.
It's crazy.
It's mad. It is mad on paper. Bro.
Yeah, but on that note, I thought let's just end it with a little bit of fun. Merry Christmas to everybody. Hope you guys have a happy New Year as well.
Have a great one.
Happy New Year.
We'll see you next week, man.
Peace.